Ever since I was a kid, I've been in love with Lord of the Rings. I'd say, honestly, that it's shaped the person who I am today. When I was a kid, of course, the deeper themes and story that Tolkien was trying to tell was lost on me. I mean, I was an actual toddler when I watched them for the first time. To me, it was about a good triumphing over evil and sword fighting. I became so obsessed with fantasy, and this obsession is still continued to this day, that, I don't know why I'm telling this. This isn't in the script. There's a family photo of me, shirtless, just wearing pants with, like a dozen plastic swords shoved in the waistband. Because, swords have scabbards, but they didn't have scabbards. So I put them in the waistband of my pants. So it was like I had like a bunch of swords uh, that I'd fight orcs with and pull them out of my waistband and rah. This aside, the Lord of the Rings has become, of course, more complicated for me now that I'm older and an adult. Of course, I still enjoy the concepts of good triumphing over evil, orcs fighting in big epic battles, but there's more. There's a certain passage that always struck me as important. It's a scene in the movie as well, but I've always enjoyed the description in the book more. And I think it's one of the best scenes to represent depression and hopelessness in all of fiction. But even more so, to represent the human spirit's perseverance in the face of complete despair. I would like to read this scene for you and talk about it. But first, allow me to set the scene. We're well into our journey. The Fellowship has broken, and Frodo and Sam have set off alone to do a quest that an army cannot hope to accomplish, let alone two insignificant hobbits. They have recently been joined by Gollum, an untrustworthy blackguard who is now leading them into the wilds, possibly to their misfortune. They're on the edge of a knife. For chapters upon chapters, we, the readers, have been experiencing their journey. We feel as they do, forlorn and weary, meaningless and insignificant, yet constantly terrified. They travel through bleak, dangerous, and lifeless landscapes, borderline apocalyptic, without a single living soul to see. Only recently did they encounter anyone else, and that meeting caused them to witness a bloody battle and be captured for their troubles. They're set back, loose into the harsh landscape, no aid given, aside from some well wishes in the road. Though they're freed from this capture, they're not truly free. The shackles of their quest keep them chained to an idea and perhaps a fact that they're increasingly thinking about. The idea that they will likely never return from this journey. As they continue, the very shadow that is always over Mordor does not even allow our poor travelers the simple pleasure of the warmth of the sun on their backs. The land grows gnarled and twisted, dead and cold. Hope is all but lost. Then, as they travel an ancient and abandoned road, this happens. Standing there for a moment filled with dread, Frodo became aware that a light was shining. He saw it glowing on Sam's face beside him. Turning towards it, he saw beyond an arch of boughs the road to Osgiliath, running almost as straight as a stretched ribbon down into the west. There, far away beyond sad Gondor, now overwhelmed in shade, the sun was sinking, finding at last the hem of the great slow-rolling pall of cloud, and falling in ominous fire towards the yet unsullied sea. The brief glow fell upon a huge sitting figure, still and solemn as the great stone kings of Argonath. The years had gnawed it, and violent hands had maimed it. Its head was gone, and in its place was set in mockery a round, rough-hewn stone, rudely painted by savage hands in the likeness of a grinning face with one large red eye in the midst of its forehead. Upon its knees and mighty chair and all about the pedestal were idle scrawls mixed with the foul symbols that the maggot folk of Mordor used. Suddenly, caught by the level beams, Frodo saw the old king's head. It was lying, rolled away by the roadside. "Look, Sam!" he cried, startled into speech. "Look! The king has got a crown again." The eyes were hollow, and the carven beard was broken. About the high stern forehead there was a coronal of silver and gold. A trailing plant with flowers like small white stars had bound itself across the brow, as if in reverence for the fallen king. In the crevices of his stony hair, yellow stone crop gleamed. "They cannot conquer forever," said Frodo. And then suddenly, the brief glimpse was gone. The sun dipped and vanished, and as if at the shuddering of a lamp, black night fell. The chapter ends there. Every time I read this beautiful passage, I can't help but tear up. In my opinion, this single event, something as insignificant as a defaced statue having light shine upon it, becomes the most gorgeous thing in existence for a brief moment as the words pass over me. It is hope incarnate. Just as quickly as its grace is given, it's snatched away. Is that not how all of life is? No, seriously, if you think about it, life rarely happens in big heroic moments. And likewise, the goodness that we experience is never something so dramatic or so tremendous. We will never have a king ride up to our city and declare that everything is well. We'll never have the great evil destroyed by two unlikely heroes. We'll never have all of our troubles and woes vanquished. All we can grasp for is the small moments that reassure us. Though they're hobbits, they bear the human spirit, and theirs are so utterly crushed by miles and miles of travel to a land that will most assuredly kill them. But still they continue. To save others, their old friends, their beloved Shire, and all of the peoples of the world that will never hear of them. Maybe they will fail, left to rot, their ring claimed by a fell evil. Not even the great kingdoms of men can save them, or give any aid, as their lands are besieged and destroyed. When all hope is faded, there it is. Beauty, magnificence, a small hope. A reason to continue on, to trust, and believe that good still remains within the world. Where someone is having their worst day, someone is having their best. Where shadows fall, a light is cast. Where death happens, new life begins. Where there is a destroyed relic, there is reclaimed majesty. The way Tolkien ends this is perfect. And then suddenly, the brief glimpse was gone. The sun dipped and vanished, as if the shuddering of a lamp, black night fell. Depression and hopelessness always looms over us. Bills, sick family, death, pain, all of it. It will always return. It will always happen. But even in those moments, light will shine. It will also inevitably fade. But the moments of the sun shining will always be brighter, more significant than the darkest of shadows. The time spent with a friend over the horrible loneliness. Happy memories over the vacancy of a loved one who has departed. A life ruined and meaningless is never truly such. A hopeless journey will always have purpose. All it takes is one small moment to restore hope. One person who still resists and continues on, even when all others have given up. That is humanity. That is us. Small candle flames burning, despite the overwhelming winds and the complete darkness. I've spoken about this scene to a few friends before. Read it aloud to them and ranted at length about it. Even making a statement that sounds a little funny to say, but nonetheless is true. That the Lord of the Rings represents so many of my own core beliefs and feelings. I struggle with my own mental health, depression, feelings of worthlessness and not mattering. But anytime those thoughts creep up, I think of moments like this passage, and all the other scenes sprinkled throughout the Lord of the Rings, both the books and the films. And I think of it within other media, and of course within my own life. Memories and moments that truly shined. Ones that burned grayer than any woeful shadow can hope to darken. I am making this video so it stands as a testament of this feeling. Even if I fade, even if this scene is forgotten, I want this brief moment, its impact on me, be remembered forever. Even when we feel that everything is wrong, everything is lost, it isn't. We can't know everyone. We can't know their life story or living situation, but everyone's actions matter. You matter. Even if we do not know of the flower blooming, doesn't mean it's not. Even if we do not know of those fighting for good, are they not doing it? Even if others do not know of our own struggles, doesn't mean that we do not have them. No, they happened and are happening. We happened, we matter, you matter. Your struggles matter, and they will echo forever. For something as small as a light shining up on a ruined king in a false world was enough for me and two hobbits to continue on. I believe completely that small moments like this occur all the time for most people. For you and for me. Something as simple as someone giving you a small gift, a kind word from a stranger, a checkup from a friend, well wishes from someone named HobbitBooty69 on the internet. And yes, this also means HobbitBooty69 matters too. I see you and I appreciate you. Thank you. But to be serious, art and expression are the closest things we have to showing others ourselves, our experiences, our souls. I'm a very different person to Tolkien. He was a devout Catholic, and that informed a lot of his beliefs of the world, and of course his writing. I myself am agnostic. I'll even know God nor a grand plan, and yet Tolkien's morals and ideals given in Lord of the Rings and his other writings stir within me. You don't need a greater power. You don't need a purpose. You just need to be. You need to continue walking, even when the path is no longer paved, and it has darkened. As Tolkien himself said through the mouth of Gimli, faithless is he who says farewell when the road darkens. Art surpasses religion, language, ethnicity, creed, and all other beliefs and states of being. We glimpsed into Tolkien's soul, and while we have never met him, nor existed within his fictional world, we did experience it by reading it, watching it, hearing it. I'm not Frodo. I'm not Sam. I'm not Tolkien. Yet still, I have shared these experiences, these feelings, and these small hopes with all of them. And I hope I have now shared it with you too. Thank you for watching, and always remember, even when surrounded by shadow, a monument of good broken, evil all around you, the king has got a crown, and darkness cannot conquer forever.